The seconds are out. The crowd is waiting. The boxers are getting ready to battle. Time for another edition of the Shoulder Roll Virtual Boxing Podcast with your presenter, Greg Rashid.
Well, I want to say swaddy krap to everyone out there. This is Greg Rashid, your presenter, with another edition of the Shoulder Roll Virtual Boxing Podcast. Heard at your convenience on so many platforms online, but a lot of people listen every Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. Mountain Time in Colorado on KUHSdenver.com, created by the one and only, that legend himself, the legendary Henry Archuleta. I want to say hi to all my friends in the Colorado region. I'm going to visit. I said every week. I'm going to be visiting at some point. You'll see. You'll see. But anyway, I'm here right now, loving Bangkok, Thailand. And as always, we're going to have a great show. And if you're new to the program, what we do on here, what we usually do is we have fantasy fights where we do what-if fights. What if Muhammad Ali fought Mike Tyson? What if Moses Otoma fought Joe Louis? We do things like that on here, using different modalities, computer games, card and dice games. And also we talk about the real world of boxing and also combat sports. And also we give you a little history and sometimes a little debate. But today we won't have our fantasy fights because we have an interview, a great interview, with someone who's from the Colorado region who is over here in Thailand, just like me. So Muay Thai fighter Aaron Beasley. But before we get to his interview, we're going to have right now Kiki, our ring card girl, give you the boxing news, boxing history for this week. Take it away, Kiki.
This is Kiki, your ring card girl with your boxing history for the week of August 24th through August 30th. August 24th, 1956. Joe Brown won the world lightweight title with a 15-round split decision over Bud Smith. August 25th, 1941. All major titles were frozen until 1946 as 4,000 professional boxers joined the military. August 26th, 2017. Floyd Mayweather Jr. stops UFC fighter Conor McGregor in the 10th round to become 50-0. August 27, 1943. Sugar Ray Robinson beat his childhood hero Henry Armstrong by a 10-round unanimous decision. August 28, 1959. Gene Fullmer won the National Boxing Association's world middleweight title over Carmen Basilio. August 29, 1885. Boxing's first heavyweight title fight with 3-ounce gloves and 3-minute rounds. John L. Sullivan versus Dominic McCaffrey. August 30, 1921. Angelo Dundee was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He would be remembered as the boxing trainer and cornerman of Muhammad Ali.
Thank you so much for that, Kiki. And we're going to get to, oh, there they go again. Although they're being a little, they're not being so angry with each other this time. But our AI presenters, Malcolm and Ella, they want to talk about right now Moses Otama, because they got into this little debate with me about if he's the future heavyweight champion by this time next year. And they want to talk about that. So let's have them talk about Moses Otama on the Shoulder Roll Virtual Boxing Podcast.
You know, every now and then, a talent emerges in sports that just electrifies everyone, making you lean forward and ask, what are we witnessing here? Today, we're peeling back the layers on one of the most talked about phenoms in boxing right now, Moses Otama. Our mission for this deep dive is, well, to truly understand this 20-year-old heavyweight sensation. We'll dissect his recent explosive victory, uncover the tactical genius behind his style, and then weigh the massive hype against those crucial unknowns that still lie ahead in his career. We're really going beyond the headlines to give you those precise nuggets of insight, you know? The stuff that explains why the entire boxing world has its eyes on this young fighter.
Absolutely. And to do that, we've pulled together quite a stack of sources. We've got everything from like fan polls on X and major boxing news outlets, CBS Sports, Boxing Scene, to some deep dive tactical analyses, and even those long Reddit threads speculating about his potential for years. So Yeah, get ready to be thoroughly informed.
Okay, let's jump right into the moment that really got everyone buzzing. Moses Itoma's astonishing first-round knockout of Dillian White back on August 16th. I mean, it was fast, wasn't it?
Fast is putting it mildly. What's truly fascinating here is just how quickly it happened. Itoma dispatched the 37-year-old veteran in just 1 minute and 59 seconds. And Dillian White wasn't just, some journeyman. He was a respected name, former two-time interim world champ. His only previous pro defeats, they came against actual, current, or future heavyweight champions.
Right, big names.
Exactly. And just to give you some perspective, Itoma finished him faster than both Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury managed to.
Wow, faster than both AJ and Fury.
Yeah, it was a definitive statement win. His trainer, Ben Davison, even pointed out Itoma's incredible composure. Apparently, White kept him waiting in the ring for like 6 minutes before the fight.
6 minutes, that's a long time to wait.
It is. And Davison said Itoma was just completely composed. Meanwhile, White himself had prepared rigorously. He came in at his lightest weight in 10 years, 244 pounds, down from 261. He really thought he could win. But he got clipped early and just never looked comfortable after that.
So after such a dominant performance against his first truly named and respected opponent, what was the reaction? How did the boxing world take it? And more importantly, what's the immediate buzz around his next steps? Did people see this coming so emphatically?
That's a great point, because while the hype was definitely building the speed of that finish, I think it still caught a lot of people off guard. And it immediately raises that big question. Who should he fight next? Right after the fight, Itoma was yelling into the mic, "What's next?" The crowd was roaring, "Oleksandr Usyk."
Yeah.
And a recent poll on X actually showed fans are pretty split.
Oh, interesting. Not Usyk then.
Well, very few want Usyk next. Seems like they think it's too soon. The top picks were actually Jermaine Franklin, the durable American, and Joseph Parker, the reigning WBO interim champ, tied for first. And just behind them was Agit Kabayel, the WBC interim guy.
Okay, so Franklin, Parker, Kabayal. Those are solid names, steps up, but maybe not the undisputed champ just yet.
Exactly. Though what's intriguing is that Turki Al-Alshik, the big promoter figure, has actually said he wants to see Itoma take on Usyk. So there's a bit of a divergence there between fan sentiment and maybe promotional ambition.
Okay, let's peel back another layer then. The talk around Itoma, this prodigy label, it's been massive for a while, right? Well before this White knockout. What's really been fueling that narrative, beyond just the recent win?
Right, and if we connect this to the bigger picture, his backstory is quite unique, really sets him apart. Moses Itoma was born in Kežmarok, a small town in eastern Slovakia. His dad is Nigerian, his mom Slovakian. They moved the family to Chatham in England back in 2008, and the reason? Severe racism they faced in Slovakia. Awful stuff, like his brother Samuel apparently being locked in a cupboard just for being black.
Wow, that's rough.
Yeah, and they also came from significant poverty. Itoma's talked openly about eating mayonnaise and rice for dinner, or sometimes having, as he put it, sleep for dinner because there just wasn't food. This background, this hardship, it profoundly influenced his decision to turn pro incredibly early. He was just 18, said his family needed him.
So necessity really pushed him onto that fast track.
Absolutely. His coach even sponsored him initially, and then Frank Warren, his promoter, stepped in. That decision to turn pro so early, driven by need, put him on a path most top amateurs just don't take. And this early start, it really set the stage for his rapid development. Despite turning pro at 18, his amateur career was exceptional, like truly standout. 24-0 in one European championship. All his wins came by first-round knockout.
All of them, first round.
Every single one. He also won gold at the World Youth Championships, even though he was apparently ill during the tournament. But here's where it gets really interesting, and maybe explains why the hype feels so justified. As a 15 or 16-year-old schoolboy, he was already sparring top heavyweights: Lawrence Oakley, Anthony Joshua, Joe Joyce, Daniel Dubois.
Wait, at 15, sparring those guys?
Yeah, often showing up in his actual school uniform.
No way. In his school uniform, that image alone tells you everything about his confidence, doesn't it? And those aren't just any sparring partners. Those are elite world-level fighters.
Exactly. Lawrence Oakley has even called his sparring session with Itoma the hardest of his life.
Oakley said that. Wow.
And Shane McGuigan, the coach, highly respected, he described him as the best 15-year-old I've ever seen. It's an almost unheard of a level of early exposure and success against established pros.
That is just an incredible foundation. So, okay, he's currently 13-0, 11 KOs in just 26 professional rounds. He's 20 years old, 6'2", 2.5 and 6, 254 pounds. Maybe not a giant in this era, but described as having the perfect athletic build. So what does this all mean for his actual fighting style? What's he doing in the ring that makes him so uniquely effective? How does that background translate?
Well, from a tactical standpoint, what really underpins his whole style is this combination of very quick, almost cat-like reflexes, fast feet, fast hands, and genuine concussive punching power. And it's all mixed with this remarkably high ring IQ for someone so young.
Okay, so it's not just raw athleticism. There's thought behind it.
A lot of thought. He has a very deliberate, almost chess-like approach. Often starts by establishing a jab to the body, which is really effective, especially against southpaws, by the way. Then he uses feints, lots of feints, to manipulate his opponent's guard, open up those headshots. What's insightful is how he uses this combination not just to overpower, but to dismantle guys. He turns their own strengths, like size or aggression, into weaknesses.
How so?
Well, he excels at getting his hat off the line when he attacks, a bit like Usyk does. His fast footwork lets him control the range perfectly. He's constantly looking to create angles, make opponents miss, then punish them.
And defensively?
Defensively, he relies heavily on that athleticism, quick feet, good head movement. He often pulls straight back or slip shots.
Yeah.
You rarely see him needing a high guard because he's so good at just not being there to be hit.
Right. Avoidance first.
Exactly. And maybe most impressively, his counter-punching is lethal. He reacts instantly when opponents fall short with their punches, fires back fast, powerful shots either straight over their lead hand or with those bent arm punches, those short hooks. Really dangerous.
It certainly sounds like a blueprint for success, reads like the perfect fighter on paper. But as we know in boxing, the most impressive blueprints can sometimes have hidden flaws, right? Unforeseen challenges. So what are those crucial unknowns that people still talk about with Moses Itoma? And how is his team navigating his career path to maybe address them?
Right, because there are definitely questions. For one, those early claims about breaking Mike Tyson's record youngest heavyweight champ at 20 years, 4 months, well, that's already gone. He turns 21 in December.
Yeah.
Floyd Patterson's record, 21 years, 10 months, is still technically possible by October 2026, but it seems less likely, doesn't it? Just given the pace of modern boxing and who's at the top.
Yeah, the landscape's tricky.
And, looking back, some early skeptics on Reddit were already calling him a hype job. They questioned his defense, fighting with his hands down sometimes, suggested maybe he was just oversized for his age back in the amateurs. Others doubted his mental toughness, wondering what would happen if he really faced adversity. They pointed to moments where maybe he complained to the ref or sat on the ropes instead of clinching when under pressure. Little things, maybe, but things people notice.
So the mental side under real fire is still a question mark for some.
It is. And that leads to the really big questions. Can he take a clean punch from an elite, heavy-hitting foe? We just don't know. And what about his gas tank, his endurance?
Ah, yes, the rounds issue.
Exactly. Out of 13 pro fights, 11 haven't even made it out of the second round. It just means he hasn't been tested in those deeper waters, as they say. He hasn't had to dig deep late in a fight.
Has his team acknowledged that?
Oh, yeah. His trainer, Ben Davison, openly admits they're still trying to get him more rounds. He said Dillian White, despite his toughness, ultimately couldn't pose the key questions about Itoma's endurance or his chin. And tactically. Some analysts point out that his reliance on athleticism for defense, especially pulling straight back, well, that could leave him vulnerable.
Vulnerable how?
Vulnerable to straight punches from a more sophisticated, faster opponent, someone who can cut off the ring properly and time that backward movement. It's a potential flaw against the very best.
Okay, so despite the immense talent, the undeniable potential, there's a clear understanding even within the team that careful development is needed, not just rushing him to the top. So what does Itoma himself and his team actually want for his immediate future? Are they leaning towards that Usyk fight the crowd and maybe Patrick Al-Sheikh wants, or are they sticking to a more measured path?
He's actually been quite refreshingly honest about it.
Yep.
Itoma himself has stated pretty clearly, no, I don't deserve that Usyk fight just yet.
Okay, good self-awareness there.
Definitely. He's actually interested in fighting Joseph Parker and Ajit Kabiel. He said they deserve the shot at Usyk first, which really highlights, I think, a certain maturity and focus on development from him and his team. They're prioritizing getting more rounds, more experience.
Makes sense. What's the promoter saying?
His manager, Francis Warren, confirmed that strategy. He said, we want one more and then a big one in December. So another learning fight soon, then maybe a step up towards the end of the year. Andy Lee, who coaches Joseph Parker, also weighed in. He cautioned against stepping up too quickly, saying it opens a door you can't return from. Especially true in the heavyweight division, right? Where one bad knockout can really derail a young career.
That's a very valid point. One punch changes everything at heavyweight.
It does. Yet it's worth noting, Warren has also said that in theory, yes, Itoma could be ready for a world title fight now. But, he quickly added, everyone involved wants him to gain more experience first. It's that classic boxing balancing act.
Interesting hedge there. Ready in theory, but not really ready yet.
Pretty much. And Joseph Parker himself, who's actually the WBO's mandatory challenger for Usyk, has said he's willing to fight Itoma. Especially, he added, if a title's on the line. So the options are there, but the path chosen seems to be one of cautious acceleration.
Wow. What an incredible deep dive into Moses Itoma. We've covered so much ground. We've seen his astonishing talent, touched on his really compelling personal story, that incredible sparring background, and then dug into the intricate tactical details of his fighting style. He's undeniably one of the most exciting prospects in boxing right now. And that recent knockout of Dillian Whyte, it just poured fuel on the fire, didn't it? Cemented all that buzz.
It really is a fascinating balancing act, isn't it? You look at him, and he possesses all the ingredients you'd want for superstardom: the speed, the power, the ring IQ, that captivating backstory. Yet the consensus, even from his own team, is crystal clear. There's this crucial need for more rounds, more diverse challenges. He needs to be tested properly to see how his defense holds up, how his endurance performs against truly elite opposition.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener, as you watch Moses Itone's career continue to unfold? Here's maybe a provocative thought to mull over. In the incredibly unpredictable world of heavyweight boxing, what truly defines greatness for a young talent like Itoma? Is it all about breaking historical records, chasing that fastest possible path to a world title? Or is it perhaps more about carefully navigating the challenges, showing adaptability, and building a legacy that can withstand all those crucial unknowns as he steadily climbs the ranks? Something to think about.
Thank you so much, Malcolm and Ella, for that. And it would help if I turned my mic up. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. And what do you think? By this time next year, will Moses Itoma be the new heavyweight champion of the world? Will he be it by the end of this year? I really doubt that. But what do you think? Or maybe by this time next year, maybe Jake Paul will be heavyweight champion of the world. Who knows? But anyway. And speaking of Jake Paul, Knockout Nigel, who usually does the fights on here as commentator, he is so upset about what's about to transpire, if it happens, that Jake Paul, 6 foot plus, 200 pounds, is supposedly going to fight an exhibition fight with Gervonta Tank Davis, maybe 5'3", 135 pounds. That is ridiculous. But he's going to talk about that right now, along with his friend, the Fabulous Faye, who I've never heard of, but he's border in here. But anyway, let's hear what Knockout Nigel has to say.
Boxing's about to witness something unprecedented. A 135-pound champion taking on a YouTuber who fights at 200 pounds. The Netflix streaming deal just made this even more fascinating.
You know what's wild about this matchup? Paul was actually in talks with Anthony Joshua, while Davis had unfinished business with Lamont Roach Jr. How did we get here?
Well, it goes back to Paul's 2021 hit list, where he named everyone from Canelo to McGregor. He's actually checking off those names one by one. Diaz, Fury, Woodley twice, and now Davis.
It also appears to be a money grab. As promoter Eddie Hearn said, it appears Davis has checked out of real boxing to take a $30 million plus payday.
That's exactly right. Davis was supposed to fight Lamont Roach Jr. in a rematch. But given that that would have been a 50-50 fight as far as the money, and it definitely would not be $30 million, Davis wants the money first.
The Roach rematch was not promising to be an easy one. Roach felt he was cheated out of a win in their first match. So did many of his fans.
I believe Roach won the fight, and Davis got a gift with the draw. Another factor is the various legal and personal issues Davis has had outside of the ring.
Maybe he needs a huge money fight to pay off the outside expenses. And Nigel, You may not agree, but I think Tank has been an overrated fighter.
I agree. His biggest wins have been against boxers such as Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero. He also fought an undersized Pitbull Cruz. These are not actually Hall of Famer caliber fighters. It is a pity, because the lad does have superb boxing skills.
It would have been nice to have seen him test those skills against Shakur Stevenson or Lomachenko. Wins against those two would have put Tank in line for future consideration as a Hall of Fame boxer.
Alas, that looks like those fights and the Roach fight will not happen. Sometimes the bankroll is more important than legacy. Meanwhile, Jake Paul is creating a different type of legacy. He may not be much of a fighter, but he is a superb marketer. Love him or hate him, people will watch his fights. I will now return you to our Bangkok studios. This is Knockout Nigel, along with Fabulous Faye. Cheers.
I don't know where he got Fabulous Faye, but I guess I guess I have to pay her too. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. Jake Paul is bringing some new fans to boxing. They're not actually boxing aficionados, but they're into it and they're learning about other fighters. So I guess that's a positive, but we'll see. But anyway, let's right now talk about a real fighter, someone who's a real professional who's out there right now, who I'm proud that I interviewed. And I'm talking about Aaron Beasley, originally from Colorado. He's over here in Thailand now, learning Muay Thai. And he's going to talk about his story on here. And I'm just so happy to talk to him. And I promise to have him on here a number of times, because he's going to explain Muay Thai, his journey along with his family over here. It's truly a marvelous story. So let's hear that on the Shoulder Roll Virtual Boxing Podcast. And I'm so happy today to have on the program and it's just like kismet in a sense, because many years ago I had his father on my show, and we became real tight on the show I had in Denver, gospel show on KGNU. I mean, at KGNU, on Kuvo 89.3 FM in Denver, and I have a son on now, and it's just really crazy in a sense, because I'm in Thailand and he has moved over to Thailand. Who I'm talking about is Aaron Beasley. And are you there, Aaron?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and the weird thing is like, so why do you have him on? Why, you just gonna have a friend on? No, yeah, he's a friend, but more than that, because my show is, everyone knows who listens in, I talk about boxing. We talk about what's going on in the real world boxing. And also we always talk about combat sports, and everyone who listens to this program knows I love Muay Thai boxing. And just like, Kismet, this is amazing. Aaron has moved over here because he wants to study Muay Thai. He's a Muay Thai expert already, but he wants to become even more so. And Aaron, I want you to talk about how, why you decided to come over here with the Muay Thai and all. But, a lot of people will say, like, God, that's a long way. Because I get the same thing. Like, why are you over in Thailand? That's 8,000 miles away from Denver. Why are you over there? And I know, and unlike me, who's retired, and I'm 71, I mean, you're still a kid, and you got a family, and they're all over here. And I just think that's really incredible. But tell my listeners, what made you decide, I got to do this? I got to do it.
Oh, yeah. So it's kind of a weird story because growing up, my dad was a martial arts movie head. Like, he loved Bruce Lee, Van Damme, and he watched all those movies constantly. So being a kid, I'm like, oh, what's this? Nice action movies. And I watch it with him. And Van Damme in particular, when he made that movie Kickboxer.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, so when I saw that, I was like, it birthed something in me. And I'm like, man, that Muay Thai, like, that looks cool. And at the time, it wasn't really known in America. Like, it's still gaining popularity.
Oh, it's still
Yeah,
no, unknown in a lot of parts of America. A lot of friends I talk to in America, and I tell them I'm going to Muay Thai bouts over here. It's like, what is Muay Thai? And I have to explain it.
right.
I have to explain it to them.
Exactly. And I'm like, man, like this is like I'm like, wow, so it really gives that Shaolin monk mystery. Nobody really knows what you're practicing kind of deal.
Right.
And I like that aspect of it. And um, but yeah, watching the Van Damme movies, I'm like, I want to try this. And fast forward, I get out of college playing football, whatever, and um, walk into a boxing gym. There's an instructor in there, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I teach Muay Thai. I just came from Thailand. Like, let me show you some cool stuff." And I'm like, "Wow, I really like these techniques." And that was
Yeah.
in 2011, and it
Were
just
you in Denver
stuck with
then?
me since then.
Were you in Denver?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh wow. What? Give a shout out to the place you went to.
Oh man, King's Muay Thai and A1 Boxing.
Oh, I know
So
A1.
start out at A1 Boxing.
Mm-hmm. Oh
Yeah, they used
man.
to be LA Boxing, but they
Okay.
rebranded
Okay.
in 2011. So yeah, awesome place, man. So from there, you get to studying and watching these different fighters. You learn about K1 and then where does kickboxing come from? And so I was hooked, and I'm like, I want to go to Thailand to train. And my wife's like, yeah, we could probably send you there, but it's pretty expensive. And at
Because
the time, we didn't have no kids, and
right,
every 2 years we was having a baby, so it was becoming delayed because I was gonna go out there solo.
right.
But this technology, man,
I tell you.
these TikTok and YouTubes and social media information travels quick. And she found out about all these other married women going to Thailand and hanging out. And she's like, hey, super affordable over there, right? I'm like, yeah, I know. It's Thailand. And she's like, no, there's a lot of expats over there. I'm like, okay. She's like, yeah, you could go to the sauna and this and that for at this cost. And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, I kind of already knew that because I looked at it. And the more she studied and saw more people like her with a husband and kids out there just having fun, she was hooked. So it wasn't even the martial arts aspect.
Right.
Uh, it was simply like the people, how polite they are, and they really judge you based off of your character.
That's
And
it.
that's the glimpse that you got from social media. Like they're really peaceful, calm, quiet people, and they're just not over consuming like us Americans are.
Oh, definitely.
And just yeah, they're really different. So, but that's what attracted her because she's like, oh man, we could get away from, you know, we could really be anti-American living over there, 9,000 miles away. So,
It's not.
I
It's
was
not
like,
so
yeah,
much
I'm
about
like,
being anti-American, but I know what you mean. It's like you don't have, and we'll talk about this separately when you interview me next week. But the whole issue of you don't feel a certain type of pressure that you feel.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. That a lot of my listeners who are listening, mainly the folks that listen in on here, they're listening in Denver on KUHSdenver.com. So they're listening there. And they really, they've heard me over the last 3 years now on this program talking about Thailand, but to have someone else talk about it who's from the area makes it, piques their
yeah.
interest even more. Now, one thing, so you went through this process since you got out of college. So how many years did it take you to you actually made the move this year?
Oh man. So we started talking about it last year in October 2024. And so it was kind of fast because, if you got kids and you're a regular middle class working family, you're getting income taxes.
Right.
So um, we're like, hey, she's like, I think we could go out there around, income tax time, that springtime, man. I'm like, yeah, we could get out there. I just want to be able to kickbox and learn. She's like,
Right.
yeah, that's cool. But, I'm like, okay. So we was in agreement on there, which I was surprised about. And, you know, of course we sold everything and it happened so fast. Like it literally didn't take no time.
I mean,
Um,
really, I mean, what
and
you've done is really quick because it took me on my process to get over here by 2018 permanently because I had been here before visiting. I mean, you're
yeah.
talking about like starting like a 4 year process as far as
Oh wow.
selling, research, selling, thinking about if I wanted to come or not, visiting for a couple, like 10 days to see if I would like it, so it took a while. So you did the
Yeah, that
accelerated program. I mean, my goodness. But that,
man, it was kind of nerve wracking for me, not so much for her because she been working remote since 2017,
right.
and her company's like, yeah, you go anywhere on the planet, you know,
Oh man.
as long as you. So we're like, oh, cool, like let's move to Texas, and we lived in California, Houston, and uh, like again, I think that technology, man, because
Oh yeah.
from like how you said, 2018, um, heck, until now, we have 5G, 6G getting ready to come out. There's
Right.
tons of more content creators, so information is just traveling super fast now, and I think that's really what helped us out because I'm gonna say about 75% of the information that was put out that we sort through was accurate.
Right.
You
And I
know,
have to say, and
um,
I've told people this too, without the technology, and I said this years ago when I finally made the decision to come over here, it's like, without the internet, without all the technology as far as my phone and all that, I wouldn't be here. I really wouldn't be here.
likewise.
Because I have to keep in touch with my friends, my family. I got to know what's going on, in the country and know what's going on everywhere else. I just would not be here. That technology makes a big difference. In fact, and plus the other thing too, it costs less, at least when I came over here, for me to come here on a one-way ticket from Denver to Thailand than it would take me. I would pay more to go from Denver to Lincoln, Nebraska by plane where my cousins live and my aunt lives. It would cost more
Oh
to do
wow,
that. And I've driven that, by car, but it's ridiculous.
right.
So it's like,
That is
it's amazing. It's really
it,
amazing.
yeah, it really is, and I think, like you said, yeah, with that technology, that's what really helps the kids because we were actually prepared because we signed a 6 month lease. We're like, all right, let's see, because just in case our kids freak out, we can
Right.
just head back. And they're like, no, Dad, we like it here. We get to uh do more family stuff. I'm like, what about your cousins and friends? They're like, oh, we talk to them through Roblox and the Oculus, and
Right.
I'm like, oh, okay. And I was like, oh. And it hit me again, the technology, because
That's it.
when you moved in the '90s, the early 2000s, which was my generation, man, like you lose contact of your friends and you got to write letters and hopefully you remember to find your address and phone number notebook to call everybody.
Right. It's a
Uh,
whole different thing. And as far as
totally different.
yeah, but as far as just the technology, as far as your Muay Thai training, and first off, tell people, listeners who have listened to my show, they know, some of them know about Muay Thai, but explain what Muay Thai actually is.
Oh man. So I would say Muay Thai, some people would say it's kickboxing with knees and elbows, but it's much more than that. It is, I would say it's like Sambo. Originally, it
Wow.
was like Sambo, which is
Right.
how karate started, and the whole separation with striking arts started because of monetization, and the West wanted to commercialize, and they separated them. But every art had wrestling, striking, clinch, elbows and knees all put together. But Muay Thai is basically that kickboxing with knees and elbows and wrestling.
That's it.
That's it. But now it's for sports and entertainment purposes. The wrestling's taken out of it, and now it's clinch. So
Right.
yeah, that's basically what it is.
Yeah. It's the art of the 8 limbs. You're using 8 limbs when you're,
Indeed.
you're training. And one thing, because I said it to you online, I think a week ago or so, but tell them how you learn. I mean, because Aaron, and we're on radio, but Aaron is you're big. I mean, you're from what I've seen of you in the past, you're showing off to your daddy as far as your powerlifting, but you're big. And most Muay Thai guys and women, they're tiny, they're little. And
Yeah.
tell my listeners about how they've been able to like maneuver you around.
Oh man, so like, and because first off, in the West, the boxing and having hands is an advantage the West will always have.
Right.
But when it comes in Thailand, I noticed training with these coaches and moving around with them, man, they perfected clinch. And their coaches say our foundation is clinch for 6 to 8 months before we get to striking and some of the extra stuff. And man, I try to be strong with these guys because I get away with it on the West.
Right. Oh yeah.
Because they're always trying to, grab a neck or something. These guys, I couldn't use my strength. Like I hold a world record in curl and bench, deadlift.
Right.
I have like 4 national records in that. And these guys, none of that mattered when they understood leverage. And when I touch them, and as soon as I try to use some muscle, I'm being moved the other direction.
Right. I mean, I was laughing. You posted one of your visits to one of the Muay Thai gyms, and it was funny. I said, God, Aaron's getting, he didn't realize, and I guess he's realizing now these little guys, they're just moving him around like he's nothing, like he's a feather. And you had a look on your face. One time you had a look on your face like, what are they doing to me?
Man, I never seen it before in the West. And I trained at 3 gyms back home between California, Houston, and in Denver. And even when they try to teach clinch, it's such a hybrid, non-Thai way. It's weird to explain it because I'm like, man, those are the techniques I learned back home.
I mean, it's basically Western or Greco-Roman wrestling. What they're doing, they're teaching you that.
Yeah, even when they clinch, it's like they're wrestling up top and trying to throw knees from there. The only thing that's Thai that you see in the West when they do try to clinch is everybody's immediately trying to get the head control. But here, they refrain from trying to grab your neck or your head because as soon as you're reaching, you're open for like 3 or 4 moves, and that's what they did on me. Because I got big arms, so I'm gonna reach this big arm. I'm gonna grab your little Thai neck, and man, they did not let me get there.
I tell you, it's a learning experience. I mean, you're getting a postgraduate degree right now. And by the way, what is your what visa do you have? Do you have
right now? Yeah, we're on the tourist visa.
Oh man!
And we make our border run.
Okay,
which we're going to Vietnam. That's when we're gonna sit down as a family and decide, okay, if we want to do the DTV or do we want to go somewhere else? Because we moved sight unseen and it was fast.
Well,
so
like this is inside information for my listeners and all, or anyone that may be interested in coming over. but you can get a Thai educational visa. You are a student.
Oh, yeah.
You are a student. You could get that up to a year, and you should really
Yes.
look into that. Because I'll
Yeah,
talk to you later about that when we meet, next week. But the fact is that you can get that. You don't need to have the other visa. You can definitely get that. Anyone who's over here learning Thai, you are a student. You are, technically you are a college student because you're learning. You're going to class, you're learning, and you're learning their art. You've come over here to learn their art. And
yeah. And that's
go ahead.
sorry. And that's why I feel like it's suitable for me. And that's why we refrain from getting it, because I'm like, that's perfect for me and my two boys. But I'm like, my wife, I'm like, let me make sure she actually can fit in out here.
I think as a family, they would be covered if you get that.
Really? Okay. Because I asked
we'll talk about that further.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah, but as far but getting back to just the Muay Thai in general, have you been able to go to any matches at the what they call the Madison Square Garden of Muay Thai, Lampini? Have you been there yet?
Oh no, I haven't been to Lampini yet. My dream to go there. The highest level guys, man.
Oh man, yeah, I've been there. Yeah, you have to experience that. Have you experienced any of the bouts, the free bouts that are at the what they call over here, my listeners, MBK, a mall, or Bangkok P? Have you gone to those?
No,
Okay.
I think they have an event next month, if I recall, because the promoter sent me a flyer through WhatsApp. The promoters, man, they really know how to fill seats. But
oh my goodness, are you kidding?
Yeah, I am going to that one. I was like, this is free. Oh yeah, I'm going.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely do that because because you'll see a lot of things. You'll see the whole action. How they're doing it, the professionals as they do it. And I envision, and I'm gonna say this to you, and you can hold me to it, and the listeners can hold me to it too. But I envision you eventually fighting at Lampini. I really can see that. It's going to take a lot of work, man, but I've seen enough of the fighters that I know you have that. You have the raw dedication. And I know the folks that work on one championship. And I talk about that a lot on this show. One championship, that's like the UFC in America. But one championship is the big thing. In fact, I don't know, you may not know this, but in Denver, but you've been living in Texas and California, but in Denver, the last couple of years, they've been having one championships at the, they used to call it the Pepsi Center. They've been having bouts there. And they have a tie-in, which they show the bouts on YouTube, and they show them in America. And there's this big Denver tie-in. And they used to have the bouts and they torn the place down now, but I don't know if you remember the Broomfield Center.
Yeah.
They started Muay Thai out there. They started out there. Yeah. And now they're downtown and they're having a bout. Oh God, I think it's coming up in the fall. They're going to have another one in Denver. And it's it's huge. And for them to know that they got you over here who's from the area, I mean, that would help you a whole lot. I'm telling you, that would help you a whole lot. Because because they'll probably ask you, well, can you help us as far as recruiting or advertising or just being a part of this? And I really would, just make an effort just to say that, you were born there, you're from the area and the area. That's all you need to do. And you'll be taking care, it'll help a whole lot. But more, the thing about Muay Thai too is that you'll eventually learn the different styles because they teach one style here in Bangkok, and then if you go to Wahin or you go to Ayutthaya or Isan, you're gonna learn a different style. It's like
Oh
anywhere.
yeah.
It's like anywhere. Boxing, you learn a different. In America, you go to one gym in, let's say, Denver, then you go to another gym, let's say in Houston. You're gonna learn a different style. So same thing here. Same
Okay,
thing.
that makes sense.
Uh,
Because there was a lot of Muay. I trained with a lot of Muay femur and Muay cow coaches so far. And
right.
if anybody don't know what that is, that's like knee fighter and technical Muay Thai style fighter. So yeah, you right about those styles. They even have
Yeah.
styles out here,
What's
which
the hard?
blew me
What's the
away.
hardest? What's the hardest thing for you so far? As far as not so much moving over here, but actually you're sparring and all. What's the hardest thing that you're learning or you're trying to get good at?
Oh man, hands down, their clinch. Like
Okay.
just the answer's always gonna be clinch because you could do you have too many options,
Right.
number one. And number two, I can't take advantage with my strength like I'm used to doing.
Right.
Uh, I'm used to implementing the benefits of, the weightlifting and stuff, but now I have to deviate from that when I'm fighting close range. And
Right.
that's been the hardest thing, changing up something you've been doing for a decade. So,
Oh yeah. And because you have been a champion as far as weightlifting, are you gonna like reduce some of that or are you gonna keep
yeah.
on doing it?
Um, I reduced. I actually stopped it back in 2021,
Okay.
and because if like again with too much muscle, I was always gassing out,
Yeah.
and you just unless you're can fit into that muscle with a big frame, 6'4", then okay, I could fit that 250 to that frame. But
Okay.
at 5'8", and I was always fighting bigger guys back home.
Oh man.
Um, it's hard. It's hard to breathe. All you could do is fight close range when you get tired, but
Right.
uh, sometimes when you're mauling them in close range, they let you get a break. So
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. Kind of like
uh,
I was thinking about a couple of fighters like the late George Foreman and Bonecrusher Smith. Them guys could fight,
oh yeah,
close up, they tear you apart, but you get away from them and they have to move around the ring. They get very
yep.
tired very quick. Ernie Shavers, guys like that, they get very tired. Big Baby, the guy right now, Gerald Big Baby Miller. Start
Oh, the
you
trash
move him
talk.
around, all of a sudden, like, man, I got to sit on this stool. I got to take more than a minute. I got to rest. Yeah,
Exactly. It's all physics, man, and that's the thing with boxing and fighting on the outside. You could take more breaks than
right.
usual. When it comes to Muay Thai,
Nah,
man, because they see you're tired, you're not only worried about body punches, you got knees, body kicks, and those drain you as well.
right.
Worse than punches go.
Oh yeah,
Uh, yeah, but guys like Big Baby and those guys, because I think Big Baby, his last fight, he was lighter, but the fight before that, I think he came in the ring at 315.
yeah. I think
And I was like,
Big
"Damn."
Baby was still like about 290 that last fight. I mean, he wasn't little, but he wasn't 300 some pounds. But Big Baby,
Man,
he's gonna be fighting soon, as a matter of fact. But guys like that, Martin Bacoli, you know, the guy from
yeah,
China, Zhang, and all that. I mean, they're good inside,
yeah,
but they gas out quickly. It's they
yeah.
really gas out. So what
And
other
that's a
thing? Uh
benefit.
huh. Yes, yeah.
That's a benefit because I came from fighting from 170 and up to the 180s, the middleweights and light heavy. Then my last fight was at heavyweight. But that was a benefit because they would gas out, but they would gas out before me,
Right.
you know, from just being at that lighter weight.
Right.
But go ahead. What was you gonna ask?
No, I was going to ask because we're getting. Oh man, I got it. Well, we'll have to have this interview again at some point. Do a second once you get more in tune to the area and all, and know a little more about Muay Thai and what you're going through. But I wanted to ask you too, what one thing, especially those folks that are listening in the Colorado region, what would you like to impart to them as far as living their dreams and all? Because I mean, the thing I like about it is that you are living your dream.
Yes, for sure. Definitely. I didn't think this was gonna be possible, but till all my kids was out the house, and I'm retired and I could go train, and but yeah, just to the people back home, because Colorado, Denver, the natives, they carry their own unique vibe, and now that it has been changing, um, I tell my friends there and family that I'm like, hey, you guys, they call it the box state for a reason, because you're gonna feel like you need to stay here,
right?
And
yeah,
you just don't have to.
That's you. God, you said something I haven't heard in ages. But yeah, that's true. Some people get that in their mind that they have to stay, and it's a big universe, and you don't sit back and like one day say, "Oh, I should have gone over to Thailand or anywhere," and end up not doing anything. And I gotta tell you, Aaron, before we go here, that there were a lot of people when I first came over here and they realized I actually had moved in and got over here. They were inquiring about how to do it. And I gotta say, frankly,
wow.
There's only a couple, and I'm talking about many, many folks in the Denver area, and not only Denver, but there's only actually been one other person besides yourself who's actually followed through. And that's a buddy I have who's actually he's in John TM now. But a lot of these folks, they talk a nice game. They want to leave the country, but as far as following up, and it's not easy. And you can tell folks it's not easy, but you got to be dedicated. You got to have a plan. And that's what you have.
Yeah, a plan and I feel like mental toughness comes into the play, because the people I met internationally that look like me and you, or they're just Americans, I notice people be like, man, they're kind of mean, and I'm like, man, no, you just gotta have thick skin, because you're bargaining for pricing.
Right.
But yeah,
that's right.
We'll touch on that. Yeah,
we're going to touch on that in the other interview, because there's a lot of that. And I've touched on that on previous shows on here, but we don't have the time to do that here today. But anything else you want to impart to folks? Oh, tell them about how they can watch you in action online.
Oh, yeah. So, and because of the weight, I decided to lose weight while I'm here. Online, I'm posting on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. My YouTube is Black Beasley 23. My TikTok is Aaron Beasley, and I'm just posting my family's journey, the kids adjusting, the small nuances, like you can't flush toilet paper in certain places.
Yeah, we will talk about all that later. Oh, one thing you haven't done yet, you gotta say something for your daddy. You gotta say hi to your daddy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's one person I'm trying to get out of the box state. He's afraid to get on the planes. Now, so am I.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, let me talk to Victor. Let me talk to him. That's my boy. And I got to tell you this before we get out of here. See, Victor and I, like I said, he was on my show many years ago. He created a theme song for me for a show I had way back when. I've played music from the group he's had. Oh, yeah. Me and him are tight. And I was so happy when he asked me if I could offer suggestions to you as far as coming over here. Yeah, but give your daddy a shout out. Don't leave this show without saying something to your daddy. Because he's gonna listen.
Oh yeah, hey, Pops, love you, man. Victor Beasley, singer, bad man with the music.
That's right, he's bad man all over the world. The man is something, and we're gonna get him over here at some point. You're going to have to get him
Yeah,
over here
he
somewhere.
afraid of flying. I'm like, Pops, I'm afraid too, but
Man,
that's the thing. Flying foreign airlines is
Yeah.
better.
That's it. That's the thing. But we'll be talking later on because we'll be talking to you next week on your venue, on your thing. But you'll be back on here again. I just want to thank you for coming on today, and just wish you much success and love. And we'll be talking. Thank you so much, Aaron, for coming on today.
Hey, thank you, Greg. I appreciate it. That's an honor.
And I hope you enjoyed that interview with Aaron Beast. And we're going to have him back on here. Hope you enjoyed it. Oh, man, the time has run out when you're having fun. Time goes quickly. But, again, just thank all of you that listen in all over the world. So many folks. Got some new folks in Paris that are listening in. Just really enjoy it. Just really thankful for that. But, again, as I always say, go in love and go in peace. Help someone along the way. When you wake up in the morning, wake up, give yourself a big hug and say you love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, you don't love anything. You can't do anything. So love yourself first. Go out in your community, wherever you are in this universe, and help someone in need. Help a young person, a senior, animal that may be in distress. Do what you can to make this big blue ball a better place. But this is Greg Rashid again. Go in love and go in peace. We're going to be seeing you next time on the Shoulder Roll Virtual Boxing Podcast. Take care and tell a friend about the show. Take care.
Thanks for tuning in. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this podcast. Please become a member at patreon.com under the title Ringside Fantasy Fights and News. See you next time.